So I just wanted the shirt, show the shirt. I got a bunch of them. I buy some more. It's only $18. That's driving them crazy. This the one yesterday. The other ones they don't seem to be so mad at, but this one, I mean, they're getting mad at. It's just a shirt. It's just wear it. So what you mad about? Why you gotta talk to me? You like an ex chick who trying to show me you don't think about me by coming and tell me. I don't even think about why are you here. I just wanted you to know why you calling. I just wanted you to know I don't need you. Okay. You know how yesterday they kept running up, like I said, the crazy black chick with no teeth, with the careful. Her shirt said careful. I have no fear. So then she ran in the store. No, she ain't got no money. That ragged ass car. Even though Aldi has cheap product, and actually I saw in my YouTube they must have put it up on purpose that what is that right there? That Aldi's is have some kind of commitment to cheaper food because of the high prices. The water come, and I'm like, I don't know. There's some kind of trick. Aldi is a German company. They source their food locally, wherever city they in, whatever. That's why it's but it's not. I don't know. This is a trick. They got me hooked. That's the only store I go into. They got car service, but I don't even use they got Instacart. I don't even use because actually when I was out there yesterday, the girl came out a couple of times. There's somebody's car, but the reason I don't use it with Instacart is because Aldi got so few employees, and the one time I did try it, they had to cancel it because it's like oh, we don't have nobody. But now all of a sudden they got time. Yeah, because I decided to go. So that means obviously they was doing it on purpose. This was about 6, 7 months ago. I tried to have, drive up. They got drive ups. They got, just like the other stores that I go to, the food, this and that. They got drive up spots. But when I tried to order it, it's like, oh, we had no one. And I'm like, all right, because they do only have like one cashier and two people in the back. It's only like because that's part of it. They got minimal staff, but I'm like, I started to write a letter or email like, why do you have Aldis on there and they don't have the staff to do pickup? Delivery Instacart is just a regular person. He go in and shop and then go bring it to you. But for pickup, obviously y'all know how it works. But I'm like, but now all of a sudden they got time to have. But anyway, so anyway, yeah, I'll just bring it up. The one that caused so much trouble for them yesterday, and like I said, she act like she is a puzzle, a trick. Capitalism turns luxuries into necessities. Socialism turns necessities into luxuries. So they got mad about this. I had it on when I went to the VA. I had it on yesterday, but it's like you don't understand that concept. It's the same thing, especially our generation. We saw it personally as kids, when VCRs came out. That's when I first started realizing things get cheaper as you move on. Years later, by '88, VCR, I had plenty of them. I had, I would take them apart. I don't know where they came from. I just had enough to even take apart and fuck with them when the tape would get stuck, this and that. It's not a big deal no more. But when I was little, like in '83, '84, you know, the you had one VCR in the whole house, and wasn't no big deal. It was the family VCR, and the them big old TVs the Xenos that sat on the floor, them wooden TVs. Yeah, we sit there. Everybody, majority of the times we watch movies together. I remember Back to the Future, most movies I had seen in Indiana Jones, all that. But my point is, capitalism makes that possible. But they're actually mad. They're still trying to. What I'm saying, they have to know what they're doing. They have to be crooks. That lady I was arguing with yesterday, I even told her. I said, "You look like an old teacher." I didn't say old, but I said, "You look like a teacher. Are you a teacher?" Because she did. She looked like a retired, But she on the inside, she's just evil. crook, a thief. Talking about it's extreme. How else are you gonna get people to give up their things because somebody else doesn't have what you have? All right, now unless you're gonna admit the socialists that they outsourced all the jobs on purpose to squeeze, to make it look like, oh, things are just so bad and this and that. But say like that guy right there, he works for the water company. You can't see him. He's over there doing some stuff. I'm sure he got stuff that he don't want, but he works for the government, the Democrats in this city. So he's probably a socialist. But you think people gonna come take his car, his his house, because a broke guy got a guy is broke. He didn't do it. And like we said, to the white lady yesterday, she's talking about I grew up poor too. To her, probably meant her parents, middle class, had to struggle sometime. To her, that meant poor. I'm talking about food stamps in New York City, but she still want to argue. And you want to let that know? And I told her, I said, no, you're not gonna talk. You don't. I'm not finna argue with someone trying to steal my shit. At the end of it, there's no conversation. There's no. And oh, you know what? This is what got me out here. Not the shirt. All right, so I was finna make breakfast. I ain't even make breakfast yet because I've been fucking around for about an hour. And so soon as like I said, I'm about to go cook in the kitchen. Wash your face, this and that, blah blah blah. And this,
DonaldJTrump.com. We begin with a woman turning the tables on armed would-be carjackers who were threatening.
this say 14 hours ago, so that would have been, I don't know. And this in Detroit. Detroit is in a different time zone, so I don't care what you say. First of all, she's at a Target. I went to Target yesterday. I went to Target and Food Line and outlets. I stopped at three places, then went to the VA. But so I made three purchases. That's by the time I went to turn that. Remember, to the UPS store to turn my Amazon in or get my refund. The That's where I got it. Had the conversation with the old white lady. But all right, so that's when I gave her the analogy about basically arguing or debating with a communist is like debating with someone trying to steal your car, carjacking, or home invasion. Next time I'm gonna do home invasion, and let's see if they have a report like this later on that day. Just listen.
For life. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Mike Duffy. Now, the man attempted the carjacking in broad daylight in the parking lot of a Target store in Taylor. But before it was over, she was the one chasing them.
It's the reason that he made an emphasis on the name of that city.
News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig is highlighting the voice of this brave woman who had been pistol whipped, but still didn't let her flip-flops slow her down.
It was Monday afternoon, just before 5 o'clock, and Rachel Smolgowski was sitting in her boyfriend's car, getting ready to go into this Target.
It was on a Monday. Well, whatever. So they do the story. I don't care. It was on Monday.
3 would-be carjackers picked the wrong one.
They seemed like they were scared of me almost because I was going ballistic. I was like a little gorilla.
Anyway, I still think this is, I don't know. She seemed retarded though, so she might be telling the truth. It's just like this bitch crazy, not crazy in a good like she's tough, but like retarded. They don't want to have to, it's like I said, all of them ain't stupid. They know you might get more. She might get they might get more time. Normally they let them go, but shit, fucking with her crazy ass, you know, you might get, life in prison because she crazy.
Rachel tells 7 News something in her snap, but she says the ordeal started very differently as she sat in this parking lot Monday with the windows rolled down.
letting them go. You know, who knows what they gonna do? This is not. We told you that this is just what happens. And like I said, maybe they were just real too young, and that might have been it. They were just too young. You know, she got lucky that time. They would like, they say teens, but who knows how 14? They might have been 14, 13, 15 instead of 18 and 17 and 19. You know, because they won't show, obviously because they're juvenile, so they can't show any other time they would, because they're arrested, they would show them 18 and 19 or whatever. But so these are like 14 and 15-year-olds who didn't know what they were doing. That's what I keep saying. If it's, that's what I said. These little kids, they didn't know what they was doing. And y'all, they still see, you see it. Well, I had enough. He's like, no, you can't keep playing with your life like that. Because first of all, even if you a real nigga, if they get the jump on you, it's called get caught slipping. A lot of people, it can happen to anybody. The realest nigga you know, he can get caught slipping because everybody can't pay attention 360, 24/7. Eventually, if you stay in a place like that, you can get caught slipping. And that's a fact. Even if you stay in a place like Alabama, Birmingham, where you can have a legal gun, it's legal, but you still might get caught. If they got the jump on you and there ain't no kids, you got to get out the car or die. And it's gonna be so fast, you ain't gonna have. That's what I'm saying. They were taking too long. All they had to do was throw her out the car. The teenagers, she got lucky. If it's true, I don't know. She might be them crisis actors. Like they. Oh no, wait a minute. This is YouTube. I might get a strike. Anyway, it's just an opinion, but. And like I said, it's like, yeah, they was older, 18, 17, probably even 16. They would just threw her ass out the car and took the car. And so, that's how you know they like 14, 13, 15. And like I said, they're crazy. They still, rather argue and pretend they're tough when they know damn well they're full of shit. Well, I don't know what the hell is wrong with them, Because somebody catch you slipping at the park. I mean, the stop sign, the stoplight, the red stoplight. That's how fast they go. It could be a whole bunch of people right there. Ain't nothing they can do but watch you get thrown to the ground. They can call the police, but the car long gone. This shit only take about 10 seconds. But like I said, they rather still be spite. And like I said, yesterday they all mad about that shirt. And we know, like they say, you're supposed to learn in school. Competition lowers the price. So somebody makes a new device, a VCR, a DVD player. DVD players were expensive at first. By then, we all old enough, to know, or CDs, matter of fact, like CDs, we all old enough to know that by then, of 17, that I can't afford one now, wasn't that big a deal. But eventually, price will come down, and it did, because there's gonna be more and more companies making CD players. So that's how it is. Like that's what that means. But they're so stupid wanting to live in luxury. They're thinking that they want to live like luxury right now. High rise apartment or something. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about stuff that used to be only for rich people. Hell, I would say there was a time when indoor plumbing was a luxury. See what I'm saying? That don't mean you have a luxury mansion or just a house. That's a luxury. Your house had the houses, had an outhouse. You had to go outside. Indoor plumbing was a luxury. That's what that means, you dumb bitch. It's like they're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be. That's what I keep saying. The Democrats, white people, this and that, or smartest, or this and that. We're getting tired of y'all niggas. And I'm not saying who's that. I'm just saying anybody of any race can be smart, just like anybody of any race can be stupid. Anybody of any race can be a loser, can be jealous. It works like that. But all of that was And then it's a necessity, meaning that everybody has indoor. You wouldn't buy a house without a bathroom now. That's insane, right? It's a necessity. Oh, this house is, it's a mansion, but it doesn't have any indoor plumbing. You got to use the bathroom in the outhouse. It's a mansion, though. It's a luxury mansion. We need $1 million for this house without indoor plumbing. But it got gold. It got a gold seat in the outhouse. Exactly. It's luxury. It's real luxurious. It got a luxurious porta potty outside. Is made out of gold and. It's like, no, see what I'm saying? These motherfuckers are so stupid, so wanting to argue and be right because, like I said, that means they were losers all their lives, and they finally thought they jumped on some kind of band. Like, finally, I knew I was right my whole. No, you were wrong. You were lame your whole life, and you're still lame. You're not gonna win. Like I said, I'm like, why won't you? Don't you want? I'm telling her yesterday. Why don't you want people to have their own money? They don't. You don't need to take. So I don't care if he got 300-400 million or $500 million. We don't need to take his shit. And like I said, she's like, well, that's it. The carjacking, that example analogy is extreme. I'm like, no, because how else you gonna take somebody's shit? You got to get the government to come in with the police to take their shit with guns, just like would take. That's why they all the gun violence. The gun violence don't exist, but it's violence, human pull the trigger, so they could take the guns away, so they could come in and take everybody's shit because they ain't got no guns. It's like ain't nobody falling for that shit. They need to disband the ATL because it's like, well, no, then they'll have some guy go crazy and shoot everybody like they did a week ago or something, shoot a bunch of people. So how could y'all gun nuts say that this guy needed a gun? No, he should have been in prison or a mental hospital. Why was he free? So you're saying it's okay for him to kill 1 or 2 people with a knife, but not 10 people? I thought 1 was too many. Y'all supposed to have the moral high ground, so that means 1 is too many. So it don't matter how he did it, with his bare hands, with a car, with a knife, with a stick, with a bat, he beat somebody to death, whatever. It don't matter how he did it. If he's like that, if he's that type of murderer, he need to be in prison. So no, there's no gun control. So if somebody did their time, even somebody who shot somebody, but he got a manslaughter, that's on the judge. Once he did his little 10 years, because manslaughter, you might only get 8 years. Once he gets out, he gets a gun. He gets all his rights back. That's how it's supposed to be. Ain't no. See, they snuck in with all this shit during the 60s and 50s. They slowly snuck in, taking away. That seemed okay. That seemed like most of us, but now we see why. It was a slippery slope. Once you start, yeah, well, he's a murderer, or he been to prison. He's a felon. Yeah, really what it is, he's a felon. She's a felon. She shouldn't have a gun, no, because why? That's even worse. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Because now you got them where they got to walk around eggshells on everybody once they're out in order not to go back to prison. And if they're the type that's going to keep committing crimes, they're not going to use a legal gun anyway. And like we said, if that's the case, they just need to be in prison. That was on the judge who only gave them 3 years. But once they get out, the real thing they use, what the real one they used to love using was the pedo. Well, would you let if that what they did was so heinous, they need to be in prison for life then. Not let them out and put them on some list. There don't need to be no list at all. First of all, you need to teach your kids like we was raised. I don't know nobody who got touched. I know I never did. Barely, like I said, all them whoopings you got too many whoopings to get touched. What I mean by that, because you know better than to go off with somebody or this and that, because they gonna break your tail if they even see you for 1 second. And so by then they can trust you outside by the time you're 6 or 7. And ain't no that's what they came up with that phrase, don't blame the victim. That's the censorship, so they can stop people from telling other parents the truth. Like, nah, you need to whoop your kid. There's no, oh, I gotta make sure I'm gonna know why. It's like they fantasize. If somebody touched my child, I don't care. I'm going to prison. Like, okay, so 1, you want your child to be traumatized by getting touched. 2, you want them to lose you forever because you going to prison for killing somebody. Instead of just whooping their butt and let them know you don't do this, you don't talk to strength, you don't all this and that, raising them the right way, so none of that happens. It's like you're sick. You're sick in the head. You rather, like you're gonna be some martyr, some hero who sacrificed to go to, and then more than likely your kid gonna be in foster care, definitely getting passed around. Stupid. These motherfuckers, they just fell for that shit. Some nerd tried to engineer this social engineer, and it's stupidity. It is. And most of us it wasn't that we were stupid, we just weren't paying, we was doing what we were supposed to do, because they took all the jobs, so we had to scrape and scribe, because there's no jobs to have, no jobs to get. And so that's what I'm saying, all this shit. So the person is on the judge who does the sentencing. Y'all need to look at sentencing, not taking away. And like I said, the list is just to get people used to some type of list, whatever it is, because it means for lame people, it also gives them a boost in life, because they never been cool or done anything. It gives them another status that they're not on any list. So they feel good, like, yeah, I'm not a felon. I never robbed a store. I never whatever. We never done whatever, got this and that felonies either. But it gives them, they just got to have some kind of, whatever, some kind of status. They got to have some kind of, Democrats do. And like I said, they just keep. At another video I want to do real quick. This one, this guy in Chicago. Now I remember seeing his face all the time when you see shooting in Chicago. He was always there, standing next to the. I thought I had loaded up, but oh yeah, it is. Well, I ain't got it loaded up. It's on this phone actually. Oh wait a minute, I can yeah, I know what I can do. I go back on the other channel.
Papers, Andrew Holmes stood with families during.
This guy, he was another one. Just like it's a lot of cities, YouTube started putting these people in my these local news channel, NBC Chicago. Every time there was a shooting, and you would see this dude face. But anyway, whatever he done to the Democrats, they're outing him. He got a case. Usually they only try to accuse, but if they're accusing him of harassment, he really did it. But what it is, we all know what the Democrats, what it is, they don't care. Even the women, the Democrat women, they don't care that they're molesting the other. I'm talking these grown women. But when you hear the details, none of them should have been there. They all was on some kind of business trip, I think, to New Orleans from Chicago. And these are all city officials, all on black, and he supposedly, because she even says it, well, he's walking on what is it in New Orleans? Not the boardwalk. They was walking somewhere, the strip or whatever, some famous thing. So y'all supposed, okay, I can understand being on a trip and you might, because matter of fact, the people you went to visit, the city officials might have said, come on and let us show you after the meeting. But, so anyway, she's like, she said he felt like an uncle. And then she went back to his room, and now yada things. He took it. But the thing is, she's mad. And I believe it happened. I believe her. I don't believe all women. We want to wait for the evidence, but knowing what I know about niggas and bitches and this old nigga right here, I don't have to know him. He thought, his power. That's what I'm talking about. When you put Democrat, they take it. They're the ones, they accuse you. Remember, that's what they accuse Trump of. They accuse you of what they're doing. Communist Democrat. They thought that's a real good tactic. Like that's some kind of Sun Tzu ancient tactic that'll win. No, not no more. Everybody knows y'all the only ones. It's like someone in a relationship always accusing the other of cheating. Everybody gonna be like, yeah, she's cheating, bro. She always saying that you cheating and she's cheating. And your homeboy ain't cheating. You ain't sticking up bro code. He just don't do that. You know, when y'all go out, he ain't messing with girls for real. He always leaving. Oh man, I gotta go home. You know, but she always accusing. Then she is the one cheating.
He is a well-known Chicago activist known for his work at crime scenes and helping grieving families. But now Andrew Holmes is out of.
And see what the reason why in doing is helping grit. So instead of stopping crime, putting the criminals in prison, they it's just like I was talking about. They wait till after it happens so they can have a job helping grieving families. And it's like at this point you got to blame the people who the people who saw all this 3-4 years ago happening, saw him standing with grieving families. 2 years later, he's come visiting them, standing with them. And y'all keep electing any Democrat, then at this point we can't have sympathy for you. No, we'll get punished by God for that. At this point, God is like, nah, don't, no.
The nonprofit he worked for says he's been terminated amid a lawsuit and allegations that he assaulted a former coworker. Holmes also serves as a trustee in the village of Dalton. NBC5's Regina Waldrop with tonight's story.
We're in the most dangerous areas at the most dangerous time at night.
We in the most dangerous because you can go through because you the head, you in charge. All in that Chicago, you know, they real, you know, crazy shit up there, you know. I remember when the guys from Chicago came to Birmingham in '88, you know. Well, when they, you know, moved down there, all of a sudden, you got all these. You know, it's just he the boss or something. Yeah, 'cause he's trying to make it like he's just such a good, brave person. No, you the boss.
Name, his face, synonymous with the fight against Chicago violence.
We are just concerned about the
His
child.
face is synonymous with the violence. Cause like I said, that's how I know his face. I don't know these people. I didn't look for. They started putting this shit in my recommendations about 2 years ago or something, or three. You know, every time such Chicago, WNBC, WGN. You know, I remember WGN because it's like the other superstation. But I didn't go looking for it. You know, the one in Atlanta, TBS, right? Then back in the cable days when everybody had cable in the '90s and 2000s, but it's still a local channel.
Right about now.
On TV screens and in newspapers, Andrew Holmes stood with families during their most difficult times. He met with dignitaries, received countless awards for his work as a crisis responder. But in the wake of allegations against him, now the
Countless awards. Basically, he's an arsonist firefighter. He caused all the trouble. He helped cause all the trouble so he could show up and put out the fire and receive countless awards for heroism, and bravery. I'm just laughing at the folks. Like, whatever. Y'all, my point is, leave the rest of us alone. Don't come at us talking about we have too much. Don't get mad at my shirt. Just look the other way. Roll your eyes like you usually do. But don't come at me. Don't come at me, bro. I never said come at me, bro. That's always been just comedy. You know, white boys. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Don't come at me, bro. You don't want that. Don't come at me.